boys replace your caps. At this time, I would like to invite our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Michael Baldessari, to the podium, who will give the welcome address.
Thank you, Mr. Tavalis. Good evening and welcome everyone to tonight's ceremony. Before introducing the class of 2012's Vice President, I would like to take an opportunity to recognize some community members who are in attendance with us this evening. This is a rare moment in which I can offer some much-deserved recognition for thanks for the volunteerism and support for many people in our community. This beautiful athletic complex, school facility, and rising reputation as an outstanding academic institution in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts did not happen by chance. What has taken place here in recent years is the result of the dedication of many stakeholders who understand the power and the value of a quality education. Our education system will be the axis of transformative change for our children, for our graduates, for all of us, for our community, and for our future. When your name is called, please stand briefly so that you may be recognized. Attendees, please hold your applause until all the names have been announced. Ralph C. Mahar Regional School Committee Chairperson, Kara Dean. Recently resigned School Committee Chairperson, Maureen Donnellan. Peter Sam Center School and Ralph C. Mahar Representative, Mr. Dana Kennan. Orange Representative, Robin LaCroix. Orange Representative, Pat Smith. Orange Representative, Rebecca Badgley, with my friends, her daughters, Amanda and Taylor. Ralph C. Mahar and Orange Elementary School Committee member, Paul Gervais. Orange Elementary School Committee Chair, Stephanie Conrad. Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Terry Thomas, and Assistant Superintendent and former Superintendent of the Peter Sam Center School, Dr. Patricia Martin. State Representative Denise Andrews. Former Police Chief Brian Spear. Former State Representative and current Sheriff of Franklin County, Christopher Donnellan. Swift River Principal, Mrs. Sheila Hunter. Mount Wachusett Community College, Gateway to College Director, Mrs. Deb Bebo. Orange Board of Selectmen member, Mr. George Willard. Butterfield Principal, Mr. James Trill. CAPS Educational Collaborative Director, Dr. Edward McCall. Mr. Fournier, thank you for the sign that commemorates our state championship out in front of the school. And please, faculty and staff, also rise so that we may give you a round of applause for the thanks and for your dedication and support of our school community. We thank you. At this time, please welcome Ralph C. Mahar Class of 2012 Vice President Christopher Capuzzo.
School Committee Chair, Kara Dean, Superintendent Baldessari, Principal Tavalis, Mr. Kurt Anko, class officers, parents, family, friends, faculty, and staff. I graciously welcome you to the 2012 Commencement Ceremony. This night marks a crucial point in our lives. On this special night, not only do we close the door on a part of our lives we have known so well, but also we open a new door of opportunity and adventure. Tonight, we will close the door on a time where class competition and spirit were what everyone wished to be a part of. A time where extracurricular activities like clubs, sports, were an everyday part of our lives, in and outside of school. A time where dependence on classmates, teachers, and family was a crucial part in the development of our education. And most importantly, a time where the closeness of friends meant the world to everyone, But we should not be dismayed about closing this door, as we now open a new door. This door reveals to us a whole new world, a world where independence will now be a daily part of our lives, and no longer an idea we strive for. A world where individuality will hold a far greater meaning than it has before, and a world which will set the stage for the greatest performance of our lives. We will take the knowledge and skills we have learned here to a whole new stage of learning. I welcome you all to the commencement exercises for the class of 2012, as we close one door and open a new one.
This year marks the 100th year of birth of Senator Ralph C. Mahar and the 50th year of his passing. If Senator Mahar were with us today, he would certainly be proud of the athletic prowess in the school that he created. He would also be proud to know that the students sitting before us tonight have earned, along with their high school diplomas, more than 3,000 credits at Mount Wachusett Community College. 10 students in this class, along with their high school diplomas, also earned their associate degrees. And what's even more astounding is that the college credits and degrees were awarded at the price of $0 and 0 cents for their families. When I was preparing for this part of tonight's ceremony to celebrate the legacy of Ralph C. Mahar, I came across a letter that was written by Ralph C. Mahar on June 22nd, 1955. And I would like to read this to you this evening. It's to Henry Hastings, the superintendent of schools in Orange, Massachusetts. And it reads, "Dear Mr. Hastings, I have your very kind letter of June 20th and want you to know that I am deeply grateful for the action of the Irving Orange Regional School Committee in making the decision to name the new regional school for me. At first blush, when I was apprised of the fact of the committee's action, I did not know just what would be the proper thing to do. However, the more I thought about it, and the more I realized how sincerely the members of your committee approached the matter, I came to the conclusion that I most certainly should accept what I deem to be a very great honor. This will mean a great deal to my wife and my little girl. Of course, my dad and my mother too. I can only say in conclusion that once again, I am deeply grateful for your fine tribute. 50 years ago, almost to this day, Senator Mahar stood and delivered the keynote address to the class of 1962. In celebration of the legacy of Senator Mahar, it's now my privilege to introduce his daughter, Eleanor Mahar Deegan, who graduated almost 50 years ago today. Mrs. Mahar Deegan is the only son of Peggy and Ralph Mahar. She's a graduate of UMass Amherst. Her education was shaped by her father's educational initiatives. As an adult, she attempted to embody the example of her father's activist model, though in different times and in different ways. She's been married to Thomas J. Deegan of Orange, Massachusetts for the past 42 years. Their daughter, Deidre Deegan Esquire, is a lawyer like her grandfather and is currently doing battle for WGBH. Her husband, Mahmoud Firuzbakhsh, is an attorney as well, who works to create affordable housing programs in the city of Boston. Ralph's great-grandson Cameron is 4 years old and ready to follow in the footsteps of his great-grandfather. Mrs. Mahar Deegan has taught daycare, been a nanny, worked for Head Start, published, and runs a lecture bureau. She's a proud flower child, a huge fan of the boss, Bruce Springsteen, and a very, very, very proud daughter of her father, the late Senator Ralph C. Mahar. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mrs. Ellie Mahar Deegan.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Well, as I was thinking about how to frame these remarks, and I'm going to keep it brief, I decided that the most important thing I wanted to leave all of you with is the fact that no matter what kind of stresses or difficulties are handed to you, you can overcome them and you can become who you are. My father changed all of our lives, yet he wasn't driven like the madman. He took time, he enjoyed making the world a better place. This is the beginning of June 2012, and 50 years ago I was you, graduating into the future. My dad, after whom of course the school was named, was our commencement speaker, as was just mentioned. Like any good, reputable 17-year-old, I was terribly embarrassed. I don't think I listened. I didn't know, of course, that he would be dead in 2 months. At 17, I had no way of appreciating who he really was in the world. He was my dad. We'd just begun to have real conversations. All I knew was that I missed him and was terrified of the world. When he was 8 years old, he founded the Duty, Faith, and Truth Club. He and his friends would talk about things, life, what life expected of them, their hopes, their dreams. Then they'd play ball. My dad was usually the catcher. Have I mentioned that he was handicapped? He was. Born with a congenital skeletal deformity which forced him to wear specially made shoes. The sole of the left one built up 4 inches. Didn't stop him from catching baseballs, or, as he grew up, from dancing with pretty girls. It seems almost too neat to be true, but it is true. By the age of 50, this very little man, he was only 5'3" on a good day, from Orange, Little Orange, had changed the state of Massachusetts forever. He created the first regional high school in the state, as well as the University of Massachusetts system. He had pushed for benefits, health benefits, education, and housing benefits for returning World War II veterans and later for Korean veterans. He missed Vietnam. He missed the 60s. The murder of the president he opposed but liked very much. I'm glad he missed that. Vietnam, I'm glad he missed that. And I'm proud that just after his passing, almost immediately after his passing, a week to the day after his passing, there was no Cold War in Orange, Mass. There were Russians downtown. Yes, there were. Because of my father's last legislative initiative, the funding to bring the 6th World Sport Parachuting Championships to Orange, Mass, there were participants from 26 countries, and some of them were communists. This was 1962, the height of the Cold War, and there were Russians in Orange. He could have graduated from Tufts cum laude. Also, by the way, you should know that by the age of 21, he was pretty much stone deaf. He started losing his hearing at age 17. He was very good at reading lips, and since hearing aids weren't available, that's what he had to do. Because he'd been a speaking person and a hearing person, his speech was normal. He could have graduated from Tufts cum laude if he had merely attended that one last French class that Saturday morning in the spring of 1933. But it was too nice a morning to sit indoors. Have I told you that his name was on the ballot for the first election he was old enough to vote in? Back then, that meant you were 21. He took on a long-term representative in the Massachusetts House race. He lost by 6 votes. He was 21. By recount, he lost by 11 votes. So, he taught for 2 years at the Orange High School, modernizing his classroom civics course by providing subscriptions for each student to Newsweek, a revolutionary thing to do in the pre-TV age. he was already bringing the world to Orange. He won his seat in the House and began his legislative career while still stone deaf. He also earned his law degree at the brand new Northeastern School of Law. Deaf and handicapped, he served in the House until 1944, when he was elected to the Senate. That was the year I was born. Ralph Mahar was unstoppable when it came to living his life. He followed his own star. Despite being a Republican, he was a true rebel. When he was 12, he refused to be confirmed in the Anglican Church, opting instead for the Congregationalist. He got a hearing aid when he could, married a pretty Catholic Irish girl from Cambridge, Peggy Macklin, brought her home. Kind of a no-no on a number of levels back in those old small-town days. They were a really gorgeous couple. My father had a natural glamour despite his physical difficulties. His dark brown eyes betrayed both intelligence and humor, and when he laughed, his dimples were deep. In his white summer suit with his patent leather hair and a white fedora, he had a real movie star thing going, and my chic mom on his arm. Had he so chosen, he could have been a wealthy man. He was a very powerful man. He chose duty, faith, truth, and fun. He saved his free time and valued it along with performing effectively in the world. He lived a richer life. He had a good time changing the state of Massachusetts and the town of Orange, and he never did anything just for money. At the age of 8, a little handicapped boy living on the corner of Prospect and High started the Duty, Faith, and Truth Club. You were graduating from his school, and I hope many of you are continuing to his university. The clubhouse may be gone, but the club will always be there. It's waiting for you to join, and maybe you're already a member. So go ahead and change the world, but do it like Ralph did. Have a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Mahar Deegan. Very inspiring. At this point, senior band members, please join the concert band. The Mahar Concert Band, conducted by Mr. Cho, will play Down by the Sally Gardens, arranged by Michael Sweeney. Thank you, Mr. Cho and the concert band. At this time, I would like to invite Class Secretary Leah Truesdale to the podium for the presentation of the class gift to Superintendent Michael Baldessari.
School Committee Chair Cara Dean, Superintendent Baldessari, Principal Tabalis, Mr. Kurt Anko, class officers, parents, family, friends, faculty, and staff. On behalf of the class of 2012, I would now like to present our class gift. We are giving the school 5 Boulevard banners. 2 of them say Ralph C. Mahar Regional School. 1 says Senator Pride. 1 says Home of the Senators. And the final one says Go Senators, with the class of 2012 on the bottom. These banners will demonstrate our school pride to all as they approach the school.
To Leah and to the class of 2012, on behalf of the school committee and our community, we thank you. We have a beautiful facility. We appreciate the enhancement, and we look forward to when these are put up. Thank you so much.
At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Kurt Anko, our Science and Technology Coordinator, to the podium. Mr. Anko was chosen by the senior class to speak and congratulate the graduating class of 2012.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'd first like to thank the class for asking me to say a few words tonight. I consider this an honor. As I was thinking about what I might want to say to you tonight, I happened to find my diploma and found that it was exactly 39 years ago that I graduated from my high school. I started thinking about what I've done over the past 39 years and how incredibly fortunate I have been. Tonight, I'd like you to reflect upon what you have done, to think about who you really are and what is truly important to you. I cannot, nor should I, tell you how to live your lives. But I do have some suggestions and a request that I'd like you to consider. The first area that I would like you to think about is something that I believe to be critically important, and that is your character. In today's day and age, it appears that personal qualities like honesty and integrity are becoming much harder to find in people. It is my hope that you maintain the highest level of integrity and that you are totally honest with others, and especially so with yourselves. Avoid pitfalls where your character may be compromised. I also hope that you continue to develop a deep social conscience and that you consider the needs of others before those of your own. It's a bit upsetting to see some of the trends in our society where people appear to be willing to throw away their self-respect for financial or personal gain. I pray that you resist any temptation to do so, that you remain true to yourself and your values, and that you achieve your goals with both honor and dignity. Now, I suspect that many of you tonight are at least a little apprehensive about what your future holds in store for you, and that's understandable. Most people aren't all that comfortable with uncertainty. But here's the truth. You've spent the last 18 years preparing for this, and although you still have much more to learn, you have developed the skills and you have acquired the knowledge necessary to thrive in this world. You are about to embark on a great adventure. You are going to go and carve out a life for yourself. Go with confidence, utilizing all your skills. Do not fear this challenge. Embrace it. Each of you have many gifts, and I hope that you share these gifts with others. Your potential is enormous, more so than you can ever imagine. But potential by itself means little. To realize your potential, you will need to go out there, work hard, and use your talents to make this world a better place. That, in my opinion, is a responsibility that all of us must willingly accept. As I was driving in tonight, there was a song on the radio with a very appropriate line, I thought. It said, "Life is a dance that you learn as you go." And I thought about how much truth there was in that. You see, you have no way of knowing where you're going to end up. And you have no way of knowing exactly how you're going to get there. But there is one thing I've learned over the years. I've learned that life is indeed an incredible dance with all kinds of wonderful opportunities just waiting for you. There's something else I'd like you to consider tonight. I'd like you to think about the people that helped you get to this point in your life. Your family and your friends. These people gave you a gift, a very special gift. They gave you the gift of unconditional love. These are the people that believed in you, that stood by your side regardless of what you may have said or done. If you upset them, or disappointed them, or even hurt them, they were still there for you. That, by definition, is what unconditional love is. I do have a favor to ask of you. Sometime in the very near future, like tonight, go find these people. Give them a big hug and a kiss. Tell them how much you love them and how much you appreciate all that they have done for you. Now, I am confident that every one of you can and will achieve your goals. And I am equally certain that you will have a tremendous impact on our society. But that, however, is now entirely up to you. In closing, I'd like to once again thank this class for all that they've done for the Mahar community. And I'd also like to thank you for all that you've done for me personally. I wish you nothing but the best. So good luck, my friends, and may God bless each of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anko. At this time, I would like to invite School Committee Chairperson, Ms. Kara Dean, to the podium to offer congratulatory remarks.
Good evening. Superintendent Baldessari, Principal Caballas, honored guests, faculty, staff, family, friends, and most importantly, the Mahar class of 2012. First, I want to say, don't worry, I'm going to make this short. I don't want to bore you with a long speech. I know we have way more important things to do this evening. But I do need to take a moment and recognize all of the dedicated school committee members who donate countless hours attending meetings and making many important decisions in order to make Mahar Regional School the best it can be. Many of these decisions are very difficult, and often results are not popular with everyone. But please know we do not make these decisions with haste. After much thought and sometimes heated discussions, votes are taken with the utmost care and concern for everyone involved. So at this time, with those school committee members who are here, please stand. Representing New Salem, Mike Johan. From Wendell, Johanna Bartlett. Peter Sam, Dana Kennan. From the Orange Elementary School Committee, Paul Gervais. And my fellow Orange representatives, Peter Cross, Robin LaCroix, Pat Smith, and the newest member, Rebecca Badgley. I thank you all for your time. Please join me in a round of applause. It is this time of the year when we school committee members are reminded of why we do what we do. We are very proud of all of you and all your hard work it took to get to this point. All of you continually amazed us with your endurance and many accomplishments along the way, whether it be in athletics, academics, or in social clubs and activities. We know it hasn't always been easy, and you too have probably had to make some difficult decisions. There will be many more difficult decisions to make, and I hope you remember what you learned here at Mahar and continue to make the best decisions for you. And always keep in mind one of my favorite sayings: failure is not failure if a lesson from it is learned. So on behalf of the school committee, I proudly congratulate you all and wish you the best of luck in whatever path you choose to take. We wish you all success, good health, and most importantly, great happiness.
Thank you, Ms. Dean. I will now recognize the top 10 students by rank and the current National Honor Society members. When you hear your name, please stand in place until all names have been announced. The top 10 students by class rank are Emma Grace Woodcock, William Raymond Simmons, Susan Marie Stewart, Linnea Lee Dooley, Danielle Marie Spear, Carly Rose Bennett, Danielle Marie Recos, Jacob Taylor Monjo, Sabrina Jolynn Lysick, and Savannah Jean Dennis. Congratulations on all your hard work. You may be seated. Now the Key Club Trophy will be presented by Derek Porter and Jessica Gilmore. Each year, the Key Club awards 2 trophies, one for the top female student and one for the top male student. The recipients this year are Emma Woodcock and William Simmons. Would you please come on up to receive your trophy? Congratulations to you both. And now the current National Honor Society members. Once again, please stand in place until all names are announced. The current National Honor Society members are Carly Benoit. Please note that the program indicates 2 years for Carly, but however, she has been a member for 3 years. Our apologies for the inaccuracy. Now, other members of NHS. Christopher Capuzzo, Monica Diffenderfer, John DeFilippo, Linnea Dooley, Paige Gonzalez, Sabrina Lysick, Stephanie Millette, Kelsey Muse, Danielle Recos, Dylan Robichaud, William Simmons, Danielle Spear, Susan Stewart, Thomas Whittier, and Emma Woodcock. completed. Again, congratulations, nice job. And now it's my turn to say a few words. It's always amazing how fast time flies. I promised all the students that I'll try to do the same with my speech. I would like to begin by saying that this year Mahar has seen much success with our academics, athletic teams, academic clubs, as well as social clubs. There is no doubt that we can attribute this success to the contributions made by the graduating class of 2012. Their leadership, dedication, and determination have proven time and time again. This type of environment does not occur overnight. These students have put forth the effort to be successful and, most importantly, lead by example. Now I will address the class with a special poem to personalize the year. Yes, I did write this. At the very first senior meeting, expectations were set. At the end of the school year, expectations were met. You were asked to lead, and therefore you led. So many lessons were learned aside from the books you read. Through the good times and tough times, even through very stressful days, you rose above all the challenges because of your determined ways. Here we go. During one of our first challenges, I had no idea what to think. Why didn't anyone warn me when I tried to reschedule the lip sync? You have shown much pride, and you were sincere in caring for the Mahar name. Because of your togetherness, a lot of fun was had during the Senator Games. You took ownership of your education and the many events you participated in. I have a secret though. During the senior faculty basketball game, you know we let you win. So now in closing, graduates, as you leave the walls of Mahar, please remember the lessons you've learned and apply them to the very next steps of life. The expectation that you lead by example and model leadership was clearly defined. Leadership is defined as the act or instance of leading. Leadership is not defined solely by voice. Leadership is not a title. Leadership is defined by action. All of you have displayed leadership here at Mahar, so take your actions to the next level and continue on your path to success. On behalf of the Mahar community, we wish you the best and much success. Thank you. Thank you. You can always come back for a new basketball game. Superintendent and School Committee Chairperson, Mrs. Dean, I certify that the members of the class of 2012 here present have successfully completed all the graduation requirements prescribed by the Ralph C. Mahar Regional School Committee and have also fulfilled the Commonwealth graduation requirement stipulated by the Massachusetts Comprehensive Assessment System, also known as MCAS. It is now time to present the diplomas. I realize that many of you will be taking photographs, so once you have taken your photos, please move aside so that others may also have that same opportunity. Now it is time for the presentation of diplomas.